gets them, because some guys have to worry about that. With him, I don't worry about it one bit, and that to me is invaluable.
He had so many touches last year, and those have obviously been cut into somewhat by more guys. How's he kind of dealt with that? Has he been pretty selfless in that regard?
Oh yeah, he doesn't care about that at all. He's the same way as I am. He just wants to win. So, he'll have, sometimes he'll have 7 carries, 8 carries, and we win. He's the happy. His personality. He's the happiest guy in the locker room. And that's why I love this team so much, and that's why I love this organization, is because all of our guys are like that. Everyone in there is just, man, we won. That's the ultimate goal. It doesn't matter if you have 100 yards rushing or 300 yards passing and we lose. You're just going to get questions about, why did you lose? And the things that we're doing right now, we're heading the right way. And again, I can't say enough about Latavius. He is invaluable to this team, to this organization, and to me personally.
Like you said, it was fun to watch those guys up front oppose their will
Yeah.
on Denver. And to beat them is one thing, but the way you beat them, what does that do for the confidence of this team going forward?
It shows us that we should be able to run the ball, against anybody. They're the best. They are. People argue if not one or two the best. They're amazing. Let's just put that out there. They got one of the best players this league has ever seen on the edge, and on the other edge, they got another one. And on the secondary, they're loaded. The linebackers can run all day and they can hit. It's just they got guys everywhere, and so I don't want to take away from them. I just want to give credit to our O-line for doing such a good job, because it's not something, because, again, they still made their tackles for loss. They made plays and things like that. But, going against their team, they're going to make plays, especially in the pass game, But the way that we continue to just trust and believe in our system and what we were doing, it was cool.
I don't know if you were watching it specifically, but when Khalil, fumble, strip sack, recovers his own fumble, how much of a game changer was that play?
Oh, it's huge. It was huge. I think you got to correct me if I'm wrong, we were up 10 at that point. To do that, especially with where the clock was, that's another thing, man. I'm still learning this game, but I'm thinking about situationally now. You asked me that question my rookie year, I wouldn't have been able to say that to you. And that's, you get guys that know how to make plays at the right time and things like that. I mean, Khalil, he's top 5 pick for a reason. He's the franchise for a reason, and he'll get mad at me for saying that because we fight about that. But he made a big play for us.
One of the last touchdown drives, they had a couple of holding calls, but their pass interference call, put you guys on the one, maybe a half. I don't know. It seemed like it was one after another.
Oh yeah.
And they were the ones trash talking the receivers. I think the receivers won on this play. What were your thoughts? What did you see when you made the throws?
Yeah, they stole some from me today. Because those we had some big pass plays out there that, if they don't get held, they're big touchdowns. So that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. There's things still out there. If teams are going to hold us, obviously they're not all going to get called. We just got to play through it. And that's what we were talking about on the sideline. That's stuff that me and Coop, talk about a lot. Especially with how dynamic Coop is, and he's learning this game. We talk all the time, like, look, man, you're a great player. You're going to get held, but we just got to play through it and overcome it. So, I think that they stole a couple from me today, but that's all right. We won.